About to do the brakes. What year is this again, Unc?
'04 Hyundai Sonata V6 2.7 liter GLS.
So yeah, we about to do the brakes on this mug. So what we gonna do is first start by taking this tire off.
Element.
Oh yeah.
You know, you working in the snow, and you just. That's all we need.
Got our jack stands right there. Probably won't use them though, but they're there. Now we got the tire loose. We'll start taking off rest of the lugs.
Get your brake cleaner.
You say get the brake cleaner?
If you don't have the jack stands, which we do have, that's called added protection. The wall, we got
Set.
the Duralast.
We got the Duralast, 2 sets. You know we don't need them both.
We don't need them both, but just to let you know, we ain't these bulls messing around. That's what
First thing you want to do when you mess with these brakes.
First things first, figure out
sure
what
you
size
take
the bolt
that
is. Make sure you
top
disconnect
off
your
of
top.
your
Top
brake
been lost.
reservoir.
It's just a temporary condition right here.
But you remove your brake cap.
That's to alleviate all that excess, that unnecessary bleeding. Yep, it's the 14 millimeter.
Now we're going to take our 14 millimeter and remove the caliper bolts. That way we could take the caliper off. We got one at the top.
And one at the bottom.
And one right there at the bottom.
Little short bolt.
Little short bolt right there. You pry your caliper off with like a screwdriver, some kind of pry bar. Just pry it off. Uh-oh, better watch the dog under the car. Watch out!
Trey, get out from underneath this car.
Just trying to get him some shade. We're gonna keep that in there too.
Nah, he's trying to be a mechanic too.
You got it on?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this is the driver's side. We're on the driver's side.
There we have it. Normally I would have a metal coat hanger. Take and run it through here and hold it so that the caliper doesn't mess up the brake line.
Sure you clean them. Clean your rotors with some brake cleaner.
Clean your caliper.
Clean your caliper.
Clean your mounting point. Now, and make sure we got the same exact brake pad.
Match your pads up. Match them up.
Make sure that your grooves here and that are the same. And they are the same. Now notice the thickness. I still got plenty of meat on here. Still got plenty. But we just doing a brake pad change. We're not doing a rotor change or anything like that. Just a brake pad change. So now we match up the other one.
Match them up.
So it's right.
It's a nice day out here too.
Beautiful day. And these are identical.
There's been plenty of times you go to the auto parts store and you give them the year, make, and model of the car, and they still give you the wrong stuff.
That's because.
So you got to make sure that your parts match up before you get too far in the process.
Always.
We got the brake pad all greased up.
That's for the lubricant so it'll slide. Most people don't do this is because, for the simple fact, when they don't do it like that, what happens is they get that squealing noise. So now we're getting ready to.
Now what you do,
I need your hand with this.
Okay. What we gonna do is press this caliper, the piston, back into the caliper. And what you need for that is an old brake pad and a C-clamp. And you put your old brake pad right there.
If you can turn it this way, so I can.
This way?
That line is short, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
I can always loosen it from here. Give us a little more room.
Right here, that'll release that brake line. That's the one we're going to take off.
Flexibility.
Hey, come over here on this side because it might drop down.
Now, there you have it. Where's that bolt?
I got it right here.
Okay, just sit it right here in the middle.
That's the caliper. Now we got a little more play with the brake line so we can push that piston back into the caliper.
As you can see, that piston is going in to make room for the new brake pad because it's got a lot more meat on it. You want it so that it'll sit flush. And that's as far as that's going to go. But we're going to try one more turn on it just to be double. That's to give it that easy glide action. So when you go to hit that brake pedal, just say, "Ooh, yeah." So now we got those taken care of. Now, lubricate it. Do that with some more lubricant. You can just also just do like this here. Smudge it in with your fingers. A little goes a long way. Keeps moisture out of it too. Got some up here. Okay. Now, put the brake pad in. See how that just slid right on in there?
Right in there. Then you put the other one on the back end.
Slide in.
Pads is in. Caliper is on. Put your caliper back.
Now, on it too. Just a little. So when you turn that bolt in there, it'll evenly distribute itself around the threads. And there's the top one. That's it. To the bottom in the same way. There you have it. So you don't have to open up the bleeders valve.
And bleed the brakes out.
Bleed the brakes, because you do that, when you open up these bleeder valves, you wind up having to bleed the whole entire system.
We all know that's a pain in the...
Then you do that one, Then you go over to the left rear.
And with your bolts that you put back into your caliper, you just want to make sure they snug, nice and tight. You don't want to over tighten them. That's how you get a broken bolt.
And that's how you get a warped rotor.
Been through that so many times.
Yeah.
So now we about to compress the caliper to the brakes.
So what I do with that, since I don't have a real cap on here, I just seal it back with this here where it does nothing come out of it. Seal that back. Go to the junkyard and get one.
Need a new cap.
Yeah. Then
Get in the car.
get in the car. And we're taking, depress that brake pedal. Right now there's no feeling. Now it'll get hard here in a second. And it's getting hard. And what that did was push all the air out of it. So now that brake pedal is back to normal. Now on to the second side after we put this wheel back on.
Now we just gonna put the air in the brakes.
Air in the brake lines.
The brake lines. If you do not pump your brakes, you might be like me one day, to where you change your brakes and you almost ride through somebody's house. That's what's happened to me the first time I changed my brakes. I was a rookie, really didn't know what I was doing, forgot to compress them,
That was 15 years ago.
was almost through somebody's house. So don't leave that one out. So now we just putting the tire back on, and yeah, driver's side done. We're gonna get to the passenger side. 2004 what?
Hyundai Sonata.
2004 Hyundai Sonata.
2.7 liter engine.
2.7 liter engine.
V6.
V6. Just did a brake change on it. And the only tools we used was what? The 4-way.
And
we used the 4-way.
14 millimeter.
14 millimeter.
And 12 millimeter.
12 millimeter to loosen up that brake line a little bit. A
14,
C clamp.
14 is for
To push the caliper back.
For the caliper bolts.
And then of course, you know, a jack. Of course, the stands.